All right, New England, let's review the forecast for the snow that's coming in on Thursday, February 13th. The first shout out's for Andrea from Amherst.
And shout out to Ryan and his wife, Cassie.
Sounds like we're going to be bumping into each other a little bit more in the future. Now let's talk snow and ice. The national map looks like a Christmas tree with all the watches and warnings here. We're going to focus. The pinks are winter weather warnings. The purples are winter weather watches and advisories. And it correlates pretty well with the snowfall forecast seen where they have warning level criteria up here in the northern part of Maine. So for the rest of us, though, we definitely have a dusting of snow coming. Dusting is going to be a strong word for a few of these locations because it's going to end up being a little bit more than that. I'm showing an AG2 Trader some places where the snowfall amounts are probably going to be a little bit higher, maybe in the 4 to 6 range. So once again, warning level criteria for northern Maine, great storm for Quebec. I'm super jealous. But even if we look in like the Monadnock region, that little darker blue area is a 4 to 6 where we might see some at higher elevations, southern Vermont as well. So anywhere you're seeing the lighter colors, we're obviously looking at a lot less snow. Here's the scale. And as it gets darker, you can just expect a little bit more. Here's what the Weather Service says for Vermont. And here's southern New England. Go ahead and pause it if you need to look at this longer. With this storm for New England, my concern isn't the snow. This is a marginal amount of snow for us. We can handle that. It's the ice that's going to be associated with it. It's going to be coming at the end. So here's a breakdown of the entire day. The forecast discussion talks about a burst of snow followed by a wintry mix and eventually rain, bringing snow first and a mix of sleet and freezing rain following. This is the pattern. Timing of when the snow is going to start, the forecast discussion says this will make the morning commute slick in most, if not all, zones. So Thursday morning is just going to be messy. And the reason they say is the first inch or two of snow and events is largely responsible for driving issues, accidents, and slide-offs. We do worse when it begins and when there's just a little bit on the ground. We kind of take it for granted rather than if there's a foot piled up there. Funny how that works. As Thursday morning progresses, low mid-level warming, which as you guys know, my little freezing rain chart, right? This is why we're going to go from snow to sleet and freezing rain in some places. It's going to turn precip types into rain far south in the immediate coast. North and west, period of light sleet and freezing rain is expected, further bolstering the need for an advisory into the early afternoon hours. Although, and here's what you guys need to remember, don't clear that snow too early. Even though sleet and freezing rain on top of snow and treated roadways isn't nearly as bad as icing on the bare surfaces. This is absolutely correct. So wait a hot minute. Like I know you're going to want to clear your snow right away. If you wait and do it after the storm all wraps up, you're going to get the ice to accumulate on top and it's going to be much easier to clean. So taking a look at AG2 Trader, seeing that snow starting to move in the early morning hours, like late overnight, midnight time frame. But as we scroll through, here's 6 a.m., here's 7 a.m. You can see a lot of the places have had snow, and this is what's going to cause traffic to be kind of messy in the mornings. Also, see this pink on the backside? This is the sleet and the freezing rain that's going to be coming through at the wrap-up of this thing. And this is going to be happening somewhere between probably a little bit before lunchtime through the evening hours. This is also going to make travel kind of messy in some places. Winter weather advisories through most parts of like southern and western Maine, through New Hampshire, Vermont, stuff like that, go from about 3 a.m. on Thursday to about 6 p.m. So by 6 p.m., everything's going to be all wrapped up. I'm seeing the further west you are, obviously, the sooner it's going to be wrapped up. So this is, the graph forecast of 3 p.m. 3 p.m., which is nice. So hopefully a lot of stuff is cleared out of here. You might still have some lingering snow showers that are happening, but a lot of it's really moving out of here by the evening commute, I'm hoping. High pressure is going to build in the wake after this storm exits, which is going to bring a tighter pressure gradient. So we're going to have really, really gusty winds. And also because of the way the winds rotate clockwise around high pressure, it's going to be from the north. So expect Friday to be blustery, windy, and cold. As for Saturday's Sunday storm that's going to be moving through and anything after that, the models are really all over the map with it. I'll show you just real quick so you can kind of understand how even the forecast snowfall totals have shifted so drastically for the storm coming in this weekend. GFS model kind of showing it a little bit of a repeat of what we're expecting for Thursday. The amount of science and dynamics that goes into forecasting these storms is wild. So small changes in where's the precipitation going to set up? How is the jet stream going to move? And be more layers than that. Tons of layers really determine how these storms work out. So there's a lot to be still clarified and determined. So we will talk about what's going on with this weekend storm in a bit.